post, I said, I wonder, basically I posted about the new song that came out by, I said it came out by Kanye, but it's actually Rick Ross featuring Kanye West and Big Sean. And somebody might say, Sheree, why do you care about a song that came out by these people? And the reality is not so much that I care about the song itself, but I actually care about this underlying issue. There is a danger in our generation that our generation generally gets their information, or they get their ideals and the things they ascribe to from popular culture icons. And we know that we live in America, we ascribe to this thing called the American dream. And anytime someone seemingly rests at the pinnacle of success in this ideal we call the American dream, they generally are considered popular icon figures. Whether they have ascertained this through business, through arts, through sports, whatever the case might be. They generally have the most powerful voice, and generally it's generally dealing the person that we, or the people group that we tend to listen to the most, are in some form of the arts, because we tend to spend more time in things that are entertainment, they have entertainment value. And so the danger is that you have these groups of people who have the power to redefine God's systems, precepts, concepts, ideals, and whatever else he may have. They're being redefined systematically, and it may start off simple as a song, but then the song can grow into a way of life, a way of thinking that grows into a movement, that grows into laws. You know what I'm saying? These things evolve. They evolve rather quickly, and with that being said, and it might not always go in that particular order, but what I'm saying is, these voices have power, and this power influences a generation, and we know that this influence, it permeates even the church, because these powerful voices, they're given audience by people that we nestle up with in pews week to week, people that we call our brothers and sisters in the faith. And because they give audience to these powerful voices and their messages a lot more frequently than someone of the faith, or whether it be their pastor or spiritual leader, or even their brother and sister in the body, where they get inspiration from, and y'all break open the word together, if that even happens. Because they spend more time there, they tend to, their mind is being transformed by this information. And so my problem is, we say, well, who are these guys to be able to redefine these things? It doesn't matter to my generation, because again, if you have the most powerful voice, if you have the largest platform, then automatically that means you're right. So that means you have the permission to redefine anything that God said, because first of all, one, I really don't know what God said, and two, even if someone taught me, they don't have as much money as you have. They don't have the kind of car you have, the kind of house you have, the kind of girl or boy you have, or whatever the case might be. They don't have those things, so they can't be right. You have to be right. And my issue is that we, the church, we're losing ground. If we don't do something to gain ground back, it's going to be a really bad situation. Even if it's not overt movements happening, they're covert. They're happening in the hearts of people, and people's lives are being transformed. And I say to you, the church, I say to you as a individual disciple and believer, I say to you as a family unit that are living as believers, that it is our responsibility to engage the world around us. It is our responsibility to go out into the communities and even to your families, so that we can shape the worldviews of people through our biblical theology and through the reality of God, through holiness, through righteousness, that we're able to offer people a frame of reference to be able to filter information that is not going to leave them in darkness and blindness and destruction, and that they don't think that God's way is anything close to man's way, that God does not put things on pedestals and call them clean when in fact they're dirty. It's just our responsibility. When we allow for them, our communities to be untouched by us and our families to be untouched by us, we are essentially sending them out as blank canvases for anybody to paint whatever they want to on there. And we can't be passive in our approach anymore. Gone are those days where we can be passive like that. We have to set out to ensure that every person that we have an ability to influence, that we do influence. Every person that we have an opportunity to engage with our biblical worldview, we should. I don't mean that you have to go and quote scriptures and all that. All those scriptures are needed at some particular point in the dialogue and in the discipleship, but also how you live out things, how you're able to apply the word, how you're able to engage people in practical life situations by using the wisdom of God, the truths of God, and by giving credit to God primarily, because there are a lot of people who use God's principles but won't acknowledge Him. And I'm not talking about that at all, but just being sure that our voice is powerful, or even more powerful than that of those who hold mics because they are gifted in some type of way to do they have some artistic talent of some sort. They should not be the authorities on any subject. And am I giving them too much credit to say they are authorities? No, I'm just saying that I understand their voice is powerful, and I know a generation. Even now, I know a generation, or I need to know a remnant of a generation who may not have had a proper education on sanctification from the people that should have given it to them, i.e. the church, from the pulpit, or from their leader, or from you as a disciple. You had the opportunity to do that, and you did not. And so now their frame of reference for sanctification is now credited to Rick Ross, and Kanye West and Big Sean, because of a song they put out, and they performed on a national TV segment on City Hall, as I found out as well. So I just want us to be conscious and be vigilant. You know what I'm saying? Be vigilant and be intentional. And I won't say be aggressive, but I would say be intentional, be assertive. And make sure that our place is taken in the world. Basically the world is waiting for us to take our place, and they need this relief that we bring by giving the message of Christ. We give the gospel of the kingdom. That is the good news. They're waiting for that. They need this exit. And although it may seem as if everything is going the way that they intended for it to go, although it may seem like they're having a great time, there is a peace that they don't know. There is wisdom that they have not uncovered yet. There is a revelation that they didn't have access to. And there's a birthright that they are not living in. Just because they have stuff doesn't mean they have what God intends for them to have. And so we can't miss out on that. I know this is probably lengthy, maybe longer than I intended to, but I wanted to be able to articulate why it's important to me, and why we should find it something that we should be aware of, and something that we should be stepping out into and understanding and comprehending. So with that being said, I just challenge you. I love you. I say grace and peace to you. I love the church of the Most High God, Jesus Christ Church. I love you guys, and I live to serve the Most High, and I live to serve His people. Grace and peace.